Dude, there is no way I'm driving 150 nails by hand because you didn't want to put a 2x6 wall here. Come on! Hey gang, it's Paul with Stud Pack. Welcome back to our channel. In our last video, you saw Jordan and I install this Toto in the wall tank for a wall-mounted smart toilet. Never done one before, but this thing is pretty slick and I can't wait to see what it looks like when it's all done. We got to be framers, plumbers, electricians, interior designers, all that stuff all in the same day, and we had a blast making that video and we hope you enjoyed it. Now we had a ton of comments on that video and a lot of skepticism. Some of the ones we really enjoyed were the fact that the toilet mounts up here, but when you sit on the toilet, you're gonna put a lot of pressure down here, the base of the toilet against the wall. It could crack the tile, if we go with tile, or dent the drywall. Rest assured, we're not gonna use drywall. Definitely gonna put some plywood there, backer board, something like that, and make sure it's really strong and we don't have any issues with cracking. And then we had a lot of skepticism about the fact that this thing is gonna blow up and destroy Jordan's house. All that skepticism, even though this is the standard in great places like Europe and Japan and other places around the world. And you want an access panel. Now, when I think of an access panel, I think of a little 6x6, 12x12, something I can get my hands in, turn off a valve. Sounds like you guys want a 2 foot wide by 4 foot tall access panel so we can change out this whole frame or work on any part of the system that we need to in case it fails. I love the idea of an access panel. I just don't know if we can pull one off that big that also supports the toilet and that blends in with our design. But it doesn't mean we're not gonna try and make it as perfect as we can. And the other great thing about this project, once the garage apartment is done, remember, Jordan's gonna live up here for a year or 2 or 3 or 5 while the house is being built. So we'll get to see how well that system works, and we're gonna be sure to keep you updated. We might even have some, live reports, Jordan?
On a different website.
On a different website.
Yeah.
All right, cool, that's fun. So Toto was our last video, and a couple before that, we actually addressed a framing emergency we had on this gable end wall, and we totally hacked it up. Here's what happened. This building was designed by an architect who worked together with a structural engineer. And we submitted the plans to the city and it went through all their inspectors. And then we had a truss engineer design the trusses for the building and we built it according to their plans. But once it was done, our little spidey sense, our little builder sense said, "Stud Pack, it's not strong enough." Because we could come over here and actually shake this wall. Make sure you go back and check out that video and you'll see how much this wall actually moved. Now what we should have done was balloon frame this wall. So what is balloon framing? It's when the stud goes from the sill plate all the way up, past the ceiling line, past the second floor if you have one, and ties in all the way at the roof. So it's an uninterrupted piece of structural material. The problem with this wall was probably twofold or threefold. We had 2x4 construction, probably should use 2x6s. We have these massive windows, and we had this 9-foot wall with a gable end truss on top. So that was a massive hinge that we didn't like, and we had to stiffen it up. Now rest assured, when we build the main house, we're gonna change our game plan. This is the first time we've ever built a house from scratch. We've done plenty of remodels, but like I said, first time we built a house. Now the end of the great room wall is gonna have massive doors at the bottom and massive windows at the top. Very little framing. But we are definitely gonna build it on the slab, sheathe it, definitely use LVLs, 2x6s, and make that thing strong so when we stand it up, it's as stiff as can be. But as far as this wall is concerned, we fixed it as much as we could, but we're still not satisfied with it. Our fix was to install these LVL studs top to bottom, and it helped a ton. But as you can see, we made 2 major construction framing, not errors, we knew we were gonna do them, but we cut the truss cord with the approval of the truss manufacturer, and we also cut both top plates in 4 places all the way through. And by code, they have to be continuous. So we have a fix for all that. Make sure you stay tuned, and let's see how we fix it. Let's get started. All right, guys, we built our scaffold so we can access this wall. We basically have 3 things we gotta fix. Number 1, we don't have drywall blocking up here, so we're definitely gotta tackle that. Number 2, we have a major code violation where we cut our double top plates. So we have an awesome repair that we're gonna show you right here on both sides of these windows. And last but not least, we're gonna make this wall even stronger by basically making it 2 feet shorter. So I'm gonna hop down off the scaffold, get our tools, get our wood, and show you how it's done. All right, gang, I'm the ground crew. Jordan's up on the scaffolding. He's gonna measure for me. I'm gonna be down here cutting material and supplying him with everything he needs. It's our first step, bud.
Well, I'm gonna measure this and give you a measurement, right?
Right.
But you know they say Measure twice and cut once?
Absolutely. One of the foundations of carpentry.
It's foundational. What if we measure once and cut 4 times? Because this measurement, well, for this it's going to be 2, but for these, right, we have to do this one, and those 2 on the other side.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
They're
so
all
instead
the same
of
anyway.
Right, so instead of measuring 4 times and making the same 4 cuts, I'm just going to give you one measurement. You just make the cut 4 times. That way, we just install them.
Well, that's how I usually roll anyway. I measure once and cut 4 times.
Oh, I hooked on the seam up there. No way. Can't get my tape out. All right, there we go. Why don't you just call it 127 to the notch?
Okay. So like 130?
Yeah.
Overall? Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
And 2 of them.
2 of them coming up. All right, guys, we got this one and these 2 cut, all ready to go. And as you can see, there's my notch to clear this plate. I'm just gonna go just like that. There's our drywall backing all the way up to the top of our ridge. Not really the ridge, but to the peak of our roof. We're just gonna nail it right here into the side of the one on the flat. You ready, bud?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's put one here, put this one on. This one with a nail in the bottom. We'll go up top, just check them for plumb, nail the tops, work our way down. Okay.
Wow, that was fast.
Yeah. Where's that other one? Let's go. All right, let's head up one level.
You got it.
I got it. Check that out. Perfectly plumb.
Hey.
Where's all those naysayers now, huh? All right, guys, those 3 went up really fast, so I say we bust the rest of this out, and that side's gonna be easy because they're already cut. You ready, Jordan? Let's hop back up here, man.
Next stop. First piece? Sweet. Got a gap, big gap, and then that's kind of weird. I mean, I don't know what to do about that.
Dude, it's an easy fix. Calm down. You like that?
Oh.
Got it?
All right. Easy, funny. I'd go 96 to the cut. All right, all right, all right. Okay.
You like it? All right, guys, we've got our 2x4s installed on edge. adjacent to the ones that were on the flat from the truss from the factory. And that's gonna give us our drywall nailing. But you know what, we don't really nail drywall anymore, so is it called drywall screwing? That sounds kind of weird. I'm gonna stick with drywall nailing. Now, yes, if you're paying attention, you're really sharp, you're gonna notice those are 24 inches on center and our walls are 16 on center, but no problem for our drywall crew. Now that we've got the walls done, we gotta worry about the ceiling. Do we have backing for our ceiling drywall? And on this edge, we do not. So we're gonna put a 2x4 on the gable end wall in line with the bottom cord of that truss for the sheets on the ceiling. Now on this side, that truss is close enough, in my opinion, where we don't need that nailer, but we're gonna put it anyway for a reason that has nothing to do with drywall, and we're gonna show you that in just a minute here in the video. But you know what, gang, to be honest, we're kind of running low on lumber here at the Stud Pack job site, so let's head downstairs and see if we can find some long lumber to put up there, because I don't want to deal with it in 2 or 3 pieces. Check it out, bud. Here are some 2x6s, like 20 feet long, and we also have this drop from the LVL that we made our balloon framing studs out of. So why don't we use all that up?
Let's do it.
It's either that, throw it away, or bring it back to the lumber yard. I say use it up. All right, guys, now that these are on the second floor, it is time for Operation Get Them Another 20 feet in the air to begin. So we're gonna hop up here, put up our second section of scaffold. This scaffold has been a lifesaver. George's gonna hop up to the top. We'll pull a measurement and get our first board installed on the 2x4s we put on our trusses. Should be pretty simple. Let's get to it.
All right. Yeah. Yep.
All right, guys, as you probably noticed, Rad is not here. It's just me and Jordan. Rad and my daughter are on the West Coast for a wedding, so we're going back to old Stud Pack days, whereas me and Jordan up here. So we're actually gonna set up the tripod right up here above our stairway. Right, Jordan?
Yep.
And then try to film it as best we can.
Yeah, sorry.
So, get up there, bud. All right, guys, we got our first piece up on the left. Now it's time to put the second piece up on the right, and I want them to meet at a nice angle there at the ridge. So how are we gonna figure that angle? Come on down here to our Advantech subfloor, and we're gonna go back to math class. So imagine this is our gable end. We already know from doing the gables, the roof is 35 degrees here and here. So this parallel line to the top of our wall also means this angle and this angle are 35 degrees. What angle are we looking for? Imagine that's the 2x4 we just put up, and this is the one right here we need to cut. So what is this angle? If this is 35 and this is 35, then the entire angle is 70. If that's the end of our board, we make a 20-degree cut, we're gonna end up with a 70-degree angle. So I already made a 20-degree cut on this one just to test it. And there we go. Just do all your math on a piece of Advantech, you'll be fine. 200 inches long.
198.
198 inches long, 20-degree cut. Man, that thing's long, huh? 198, here's my pivot. Here's my angle scale. 5, 10, 15, 20. That's my cut line. It doesn't look like it would work, right? 20 seems too shallow.
Right.
But math never lies. Our next trick is going to be threading it over the bathroom wall, but I think it'll go. I don't know.
Let's find out.
I don't think it'll go. You think it'll go.
Nice. All right, gang, up here on the scaffolding, and we got our 20-degree piece in. We ended up being able to thread it all the way down over the bathroom wall. That was tough with the two of us, but we got it done. Sounds good. All right, gang, we're up here. using the framing square to make sure that this nailer and this truss are in line. And I know I need a haircut. So you gotta get it as square as possible, but do you see how the framing square is square to the wall and both of those are touching? Like, that's literally perfect. So I'm gonna go ahead and screw this in. And all day today, it hasn't been perfect, so to see that and to have that be the one that I filmed it's feeling good. It's feeling good. It's feeling good, man.
Oh, we're filming? All right, guys, since we only had 3 2x6s left, they were the worst of the pile. So when we ripped them, they really twisted. So all I'm doing with this scrap of LVL is using it as a lever and prying down to get that on our mark. I think we're there, Jordan?
Yeah.
All right, put that screw in, bud. All right, guys, we took you to math class when we were on the floor. Now that we're in the ceiling, we're gonna take you to physics class. I gotta push this up a little bit. So I got a scrap 2x4 right here where my right hand is on. See, I can move that wherever I want. I'm gonna put it on my mark, drive that screw.
How much wood are we putting in this place, man?
Oh man, that's some wood, huh? You know, I wonder if what Archimedes said was really true. Give me a big enough lever and I can move the world. Maybe we should do a video about that. All right, guys, our 2x4 drywall nailers are installed, and it's really making this gable end look a lot more complete. Now, we used a 2x4. Well, we made a 2x4, but we could have used anything, right? We could have used a 2x2, 2x3, but we needed a 2x4 on this side, so we just made them all the same. Why do we need a 2x4 on this side? It's very important to our next step, which is going to help us strengthen this wall even more. So let me go grab our scaffolding, easy on wheels, move it over there, and we'll show you what we're talking about. All right, guys, here's what we're going to do. I got like a 5-foot 2x4 right here, and we're going to snake it into our trusses, just like this, and we're going to create a rat run. Well, I hate the term rat run, right? We have this nice, beautiful, modern garage mahal. Let's call it a truss track. It can be the little brother of a strong bag. It's kind of doing the same thing, right? So what it's going to do, it's going to screw to the top of the 2x4 we attached to our gable end. Then we're going to attach it to each truss. Forward back, it's going to make that wall really strong. And we're going to put it right here so we can get a drill in there and put our screws. If I put it there or up here, we'll never get our screws in. So right here at the maximum height. I like that, Jordan. You want to hand me the screws and the impact driver, and we'll put one up and give it a test?
Do it.
All right.
Giving a new meaning to hammer drill.
That's right. I'm just eyeballing this edge with these corners, so at least it's kind of straight. So it looks a little better. All right, gang, what we're effectively doing, whoo, that's loud, is we're making this wall about 2 feet shorter. Instead of being this tall, the wall is now this tall. So it should be stronger. It should move less, right? So let me finish screwing this off, and then we're going to give it a test pull. And of course, as we move up towards the ridge, it's going to get even stronger and stronger, right? Grab some more screws. We're almost done with this box, bud. Remember I bought this and we were like, we don't need those. It's almost gone. All right, this one's all done, and this wall is much stronger. Now, granted, it's a short wall, right? As we move this way, you know, it's moving a little bit here, but it is rock solid right here in front of the scaffold. So, bud, you were up here yesterday. Why don't we switch places? You be my cut man, my hose man. I'll stay up here, and we'll get all 5 of these installed. All right, guys, we got our truss tracks installed. The gable end repair is done, and man, am I glad to be off the scaffolding. It's like a sauna up there. Jordan was up there yesterday. It was my turn today. We both did the work. Now let's head over to our gable end stress test facility. And if you don't remember how wobbly this was in a previous video, check this out. Now, back to the wall after the repair. Check this out. Man, look at that thing. It probably moves 10% as much as it did before we started. It's not perfect, but man, we learned a lot on that wall, and we certainly are going to apply it to the big house behind me when we build that thing. And this was kind of a 2-for-1, right? We got our drywall blocking and our gable end repair done at the same time. But are we done yet? In true stud pack fashion, of course not. So when we posted our framing emergency video about how weak this wall was, and we repaired it by cutting the top plates and the cord on the truss, we got a bunch of comments about what a dumb repair that was, how stupid we are, and how easy this building is going to fall over in the slightest of winds. Well, that was all a little bit dramatic, but we did have one great comment from a Texas inspector. He said, look, gang, great repair. All you got to do, though, to fix the top plates is to put a metal strap across there because code requires the top plates to be continuous. So we went to our local hardware store, and this was the biggest, baddest strap they had. We're simply going to put one on the top plate, overlapping our repair here, and one on the bottom plate, kind of staggering them, one right there. But you know what? This doesn't give me that warm, fuzzy feeling inside. So we went online and we ordered this guy, an MSTC 66. 66 means it's 66 inches long, it's 3 inches wide, 14 gauge, galvanized, 76 fasteners. And check it out, they even dimpled the head so the nail heads go a little bit further in.
Very nice.
I'm gonna hop up here and show you guys what it's gonna look like. Now this gives me that warm, fuzzy feeling. All right, let's install this bad boy. You guys didn't really think we were gonna put this big old strap with 76 nail heads sticking out and ruin our perfectly flat 5/8 drywall, did you? Come on, guys.
Does this guy have enough PPE on? Jeez, man.
Nice. That bit tore it up right there. Let's take our template down, put up our strap. All right, gang, check it out. Got our nice recess done for our strap and our nail heads. And look how cool that is gonna look. Drywall is gonna be nice and flush here. And after all, that's why we take all the time to do what we're doing, right? So the finishes look great. So now all that's left is to drive 150 nails. Guys, come on. Did you think I was gonna hand drive 150 nails? What are we gonna use? We're gonna use a palm nailer. It was actually one of the very first tools we highlighted on our channel many years ago. This is not the same one. It finally gave up the ship on me. This is a brand new Metabo. Picked it up for like $50. We will definitely put a link in the description below. But check out the features. It's got a nice swivel there. And check out the barrel. The opening in the barrel is eccentric to the end of the barrel. And when you put the nail in there, a little magnet grabs it and centers the nail in the barrel.
Wow.
And then all you do is push, and that nail's gonna drive in there. It uses copious amounts of air and is very loud. So hearing protection and eye protection, must-haves. Let me get suited up and I'll show you how it works. All right, check out how easy this is. You just push and it starts. Oh. Let's try another one. All that power in the palm of my hand. I feel like Doc Ock. So one little tip before I get started, you gotta be really careful with these Simpson ties. I have found from experience, if you start at one end and go hog wild towards the other, you're deforming the metal a little bit, right? And this end starts to wander, and now you're not lined up over here. So as you can see, I got a nail here, 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 just to keep it straight. So now that I know it's straight, I get to drive all those nails. Way faster. I've already upgraded my technique. We started them all beforehand for the thumbnail, but I like having them there. It'd be a good job for like your little brother to go ahead of me and tap all these in, but some of them do fall out. Whew, great job, bud. Can I have lunch now?
Yeah, let's get a drink.
Well deserved. All right, guys, this gable end wall is all done, a big check mark in our book. And it took quite a while for us to get there. We started out with that flimsy wall. We made it stronger. Our very first step was with these LVL studs that we ripped downstairs on our table saw, installed them from the bottom sill plate through our top plates all the way up to the roof, and attached everything together. Then we put our 2x4s on the edge next to the ones on the flat by the gable end. We installed our drywall blocking and tied all that together with our truss tracks, our rat runs, whatever you want to call them. And it came out fantastic. This wall is 100 times stronger than it was that very fateful day I came up here and shook it, and it almost fell over. Now I got to come clean with you guys. I was pretty stressed about this wall, knowing how much it moved before we fixed it. I was even kind of concerned about our inspection and where we're going to pass it. But now it's Friday afternoon. I know I can have a stress-free weekend knowing that we made this wall the best we could and that now we're going to pass inspection.
Well, we cut those top plates. We failed on the spot. We had to come up with something.
We did. We had to come up with a major solution, and those Simpson straps worked great.
I feel like we did the right thing.
I love it. All right, gang, that's going to be a wrap for this video. But from where Jordan and I are standing, your like button is looking a little weak. So before you smash it, get yourself some Simpson straps, some truss tracks, strengthen it for us, then smash it. Please subscribe and ring that bell if you haven't already. Check us out over at Instagram at StudPackOfficial, and we'll see you on our very next video right here at the Stud Pack Dream Garage.
Go ahead and drive. Go ahead and like drive one. Or like maybe after you're done driving.
This is what it takes to be a YouTuber. Uno más. Hi, bud.